So last week we talked. What context did we discuss it in?
We were talking about carbon capture, and because they
Was it off the back of our agricultural?
it was off the back of the agricultural thing with the sequestration.
Yes, with the sequestration. So we mentioned carbon capture as a potential solution or part of the solution to climate change. The technology is basically sucks carbon dioxide out of the air and puts it into the dirt, and it can stay there pretty much indefinitely. Well, recently, the Biden administration awarded over $3 billion to new direct air capture, carbon capture projects, which is by far the biggest amount of funding that's ever been put into this technology across the world. However, last week, when we talked about this, Anthony caveated with, we don't want this technology to be used to justify the further burning of fossil fuels. So I'm reading this article about, this is awesome.
Right,
$3 billion going into carbon capture technology. And then I read it, I'm like, okay, who's getting this? And the company is Occidental Petroleum, which is an enormous oil company whose CEO has specifically talked several times about how carbon capture is going to enable them to sell and burn more oil for a long time.
This is not good, guys.
Yeah. So we've been pro-Biden often on the show. This is a big anti-Biden.
This is an anti-Biden moment. We are hopping off of Joe Biden's dick for this moment. Yes. What is he doing?
Biden's Department of Energy fucked up on this one. Okay. I mean, I almost I wonder where are they coming from? And it has to be because there aren't that many companies doing this. And there are even less doing it at scale. So there are even less that can really even take this amount of funding to scale up their projects.
This is probably the only company that has the infrastructure ready to go.
Yeah.
Right? This is the only company that even has remotely the capability to do something like this.
Yes. And of course, it only got that by having the investment from the oil company.
Yeah.
So they're in this difficult position, but I think the answer is spread out smaller investments to multiple players across the industry, right? Mm-hmm. Do not reward oil companies just for buying up these small startups with money that's kind of pocket change to them so that they can keep burning oil. That's exactly the way to run on a treadmill.
This is the opposite incentive that we want to be formulating right now. This is a really bad carrot. We always talk about carrot and the stick, right? We always talk about, do we incentivize behavior or do we punish bad behavior? This is terrible incentivized behavior right now.
Yeah.
And this is why the term net zero really pisses me off sometimes, because the company is justifying we can emit more carbon into the atmosphere as long as we suck out the same amount.
Yeah.
That's not the point. We're trying to reduce the amount of carbon. You know what I mean? We're not.
And the thing is, theoretically, to me, I'm fine at net zero. If you are actually pulling the same amount, but I think almost any expert and I would say that it's so unlikely that they're going to happen. So instead, this is buying political will.
Yeah, this is just
it's lengthening kind of the wiggle room that they get to play with the government and permitting more projects.
No, these companies, I don't trust any of these oil companies. These oil companies should not be allowed to profit off of the catastrophic effects of climate change that they created.
Yeah.
These companies need to be sued. These companies need to be litigated against. The executives need to go to disbanded, dissolved, nationalized, maybe. These companies got to go. They can no longer be allowed to exist after they've put the world in an apocalyptic situation. Okay, there's no reason for us to throw $3 billion at them. We cannot reward them for this. They should go to jail.
Amen.
Amen. That's a clip right there.
Clip that.
Clip that, please.
Okay.